It's not too often the words billions of barrels is associated with an oil play right here in the U.S. The Bakken, however, has changed that. As investors look for E&P companies with significant upside potential in the play, one company has expanded its presence in the Williston Basin and is currently generating sufficient cash flow from its producing wells. My next guest is Terry Barr, CEO of Samson Oil Gas. Hi, Terry.
Hey, good morning.
Now, your Bakken wells in the North Stockyard field provide substantial cash flow to fund your exploration projects. What is your current production there, and is there upside opportunity in the Three Forks formation?
Yeah, look, we're doing about 500 barrels a day from our 6 Bakken wells, and we've got another one in the Mission Canyon. And we're about to, this year at least, drill 4 more infill wells, and so we'll add to that production during the course of 2012. And then, yeah, certainly we have another 6 wells to drill in the Three Forks, because that will be a target, but it's very much a secondary target for now because we want to finish this initial development of the Bakken itself.
Now, you recently expanded your Bakken exposure to the Fort Peck Indian Reservation in Montana. Can you give us an update on that project and what the next steps are?
Yeah, look, we're drilling 2 wells in Roosevelt County, or the Roosevelt Project as we call it. The first one we drilled was Australia 2, and we completed that, and we actually finished the frac just yesterday. So that's being prepared for a flowback. Once we drill the frac plugs out of that, we'll be flowing that back during the course of this week. The second well is called Gretel, and she got to TD last night, and they're running the completion as we speak this morning. So, and that well will probably be fracked in about 20 or 30 days. We haven't got a set of frack date for that, but it shouldn't be a large delay. So those 2 wells are going to be key to that project.
Now, should investors expect wells there to perform like those in North Dakota?
Well, not really. We are in a different part of the basin. We think that based on the surrounding wells, they'll do, say, around 900 barrels a day. In our North Stockyard project, we get up to 3,000 barrels a day. So we are coming a little shallower. So we do see a little lower pressure and therefore somewhat of a lower rate, but still very viable.
And your company is also one of the early pioneers targeting the Niobrara and the greater DJ Basin. What spurred your initial interest in that play? Yeah,
look, we really didn't own that. We met a really fantastic geologist by the name of John Lockridge. He introduced us to the play. John had made a lot of money in the Niobrara in the eastern part of the basin, and he had a notion that this part of the Niobrara would be fractured and would be oil prone. So we partnered with him and drilled a well in 2006, way before anyone else had really recognised it. But we really had to get the technology caught up to us, and hence a more recent burst of appraisal and exploration in that part of the play.
Now, in your first of 2 horizontal wells in which you are fully carried by Halliburton, you announced a new pump had a drastically increased production. And what are the next steps in your program with Halliburton?
Yeah, look, we want to see that well perform for about 30 days, and then we'll be able to see whether it's going to be a viable proposition or not. And at that point, we would expect Halliburton to make a no or go decision, one way or the other, drill their second well. So that's ahead of us. We would like to see somewhere between 200 to 500 barrels a day coming out of that well.
Now, how will you measure success in these early exploration programs, and how should investors evaluate your well updates?
Yeah, look, they need to observe what sort of flow rate we get out of that well. We have reported up to 200 barrels a day of oil. We need to probably sustain that rate for it to be an economic proposition. So essentially, it's a little bit difficult because we don't know the decline curve on these wells yet, and so it's just a matter of waiting and observing that production to determine the economic answer, if you like.
Well, Terry, it's always a pleasure to have you here with us. We really appreciate your insight.
Okay, thank you very much.